Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get the show started. Continue to eat, continue to have lemonade and iced tea and everything. I have the pleasure right now welcoming up our board chamber president, Shannon McClenathan.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome to the 4th annual Southwestern Vermont Chamber of Commerce Women in Leadership Luncheon. Can I just say this is quite an amazing view and overwhelming. To think that we have filled this room with such amazing, talented, dynamic women that work so hard to make our communities a better place to work, live, and play. 4 years ago, as we thought about this event, I would have never imagined that we'd have 200 people in a room celebrating one another. So this is just simply amazing. The growth in this event truly is a testament to the Chamber's commitment to empowering our region. And quite honestly, I can't think of a better way to empower the region than celebrating such amazing women who truly make this community an amazing place to be. So thank you all for coming today. Thank you for all that you do, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I think I'll be welcoming Brian to the stage.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you everyone for being here. My name is Brian Keefe. I'm president of Hildene, the Lincoln Family Home. I'd like to welcome you to Lincoln Hall, our new event facility. Someone asked when we opened. It was 10 months ago, I think. It was our first event, and it's been well received. I know a lot of you are here for the first time, and we're so grateful you're here. I'd like to thank Matt and the Chamber of Commerce for choosing here, but beyond that, all of the help that Matt does in helping grow this economy, grow this region. He's been a great partner for us at Hildene, and I know for many of you. So thank you very much, Matt. I also have to just give a shout out to our friends at the Bank of Bennington, Scott Dykeman and Jim Brown, and really helped us through this project. I'm grateful for that. What we're seeing here today is really part of the vision when we started building this building, a place for community gatherings. This year, just real briefly, we had Bennington County Habitat for Humanity was here. They did a competition among their middle schoolers for model homes. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful thing. We've had a couple of the high school proms here and got great reports for the behavior of the students. I'd like to report back. I see Mark Tashton's here from DVA, and we got really strong reports on how well behaved that was. So we're glad those went well. And then the final one I'd like to mention is about 3 weeks ago, we hosted the Lincoln Forum Symposium here in partnership with the Lincoln Forum, which is a national group that honors the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. We had 300 people, we had 230 people in this hall for the dinner, the gala. It wasn't a gala, it was a keynote on Saturday night. We had participants from 30 different states at that symposium, so it was really nice. Friday night, the event was at the Equinox Hotel, and to drive into the Equinox Hotel parking lot and to see that full in the last week of April, that was great. And it's all part of the economy of this region. We're all in it together, and so that's part of the reason it's so great to see people here. Deb Larkin, I'll say congratulations. I've known Deb for years, and you're just a great recipient. I'm so happy to see you here and getting this award. And finally, in the name of commerce, I'd like to just let you know that our museum store will be open when you leave here. I invite you to stop in. We've got a lot of re-merchandised products there. We've got a lot of local Hildene products. We feature a lot of local artisans in our store, including some from our friends from J.K. Adams is over here. So we welcome you to come down there. When you shop there, it helps us out at Hildene. It helps support our mission here. So once again, welcome to Hildene. We're glad you're here, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity.
Great. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Shannon. We wouldn't be here today, really, we wouldn't be here today. We've been doing this for 4 years. We wouldn't be here today without the amazing and generous sponsorship, support, and vision of Berkshire Bank. We will have Lori Kiley come up a little bit later. She is the managing director of their foundation and the market president for Berkshire County and Vermont. But I want to roll through a couple other thank yous that we owe people. Brian, the team at Hildene, it's just an amazing venue. It's an amazing team you have here. Truly, I've been doing this for 9 years. Michaela, you've been doing this for 700, 800 years, something like that. And we're always excited to come work with your team. They are truly professional, fun to work with, and obviously accommodate an amazing amount of people. Our lunch provider, Nick and Lenny and the team over at Pangea, let's have a round of applause for them and their lunch. Just another, service provider that we love to work with, and they have a partnership with Hildene, so it really is a match made in heaven when we all get together, and obviously through the food and through the layout and today's agenda, you can see what great things kind of come together. So thank you again, Pangea. Our audio and sound guy, Doug, over here with Equinox Audio Visuals, he's always making us look clean and have good vibes, so I really want to thank Doug for going above and beyond. He always does when we come out to things like this. We also have our media sponsors. We have Vermont News and Media, we have Old Mill Road Media, and we also have filming by GNAT-TV today, so there will be a recording if you are interested. We also have these beautiful floral arrangements. A new member of ours, Lily of the Valley Florist. If a round of applause. They're just, to me, they're always. It's the little accents that Michaela and the team here at the Chamber put together that I think really work well. A note, and I will note it again, you can take the flowers home after you leave. So that's a gift for your table to take home. You do have to arm wrestle one another to see who would actually do it or give out stems one by one. I don't really care how you do it, but literally they told us we couldn't keep them here any longer. And I think last year, guys, we brought like 100 flowers home in all our cars, and it was great, but it was a mess in the back of our cars rolling down Bennington. And finally, for the thank yous, the supporting sponsors, and to me, this speaks as much volumes about the other people we mentioned as it does with the people that just want to take a tip of the hat that say we recognize the importance of women in leadership in our organizations and in our region, and those people include the VNA and Hospice of the Southwest region, Dartmouth Health, Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, the Mission Care at Bennington, Meals on Wheels, Bennington County, Oliver Automotive Group, Gamers Grotto, the Shire's Young Professionals, the Green Mountain Academy for Lifelong Learning, United Counseling Service, and a special in memory of Edie Zawitsky. And I know Michael's back there, and we're thinking of Edie today. So a round of applause for those people as well. And now I have the pleasure of introducing our key presenting sponsor, Berkshire Bank's Lori Kiley. Lori, you want to come up?
Thank you very much, Matt. We're really pleased to be here once again as the presenting sponsor of the 4th annual Southwestern Vermont Chamber of Commerce Women in Leadership Luncheon. We're so pleased to be supporting this once again. When we started this 4 years ago or worked with the Chamber on this event, we had this vision and this idea, and immediately it was extremely popular. We were sold out the first year, and every year it's just grown, so it's amazing to see how many people are here today supporting women in our community, and we're really excited about being here. I'm here on behalf of Berkshire Bank, as Matt mentioned. And we, truly understand the importance of uplifting and celebrating women in our community. Once again, this year we're pleased to be joined by Project Against Violence Encounters, PAVE, to help bring attention to the important work that they do in our community, especially for women. And in a moment, I'll give Executive Director Lindsay Berlin an opportunity to say a few words to talk about the unfortunate increased need for their services in our community. But before I do that, I wanted to touch on something that you may or may not have heard about Berkshire Bank. We here at Berkshire Bank are in the process of a merger with Brookline Bank Corp. And you may or may not have heard about it, but Brookline's headquartered in Boston. So we're really excited about this merger. It is a partnership that's a result of a thoughtful process between two like-minded organizations that will really benefit our clients, our communities, our employees, and our shareholders. And we're excited about the opportunity to provide to our clients an expanded suite of financial products and services and a larger network of branches. So it will grow our footprint from its current state, which we are currently in 5 states. It'll grow it further into eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, as well as Westchester County, New York. It'll provide increased lending capacity and more industry-leading experts and technology to help our customers bank when and where they want to. So we're really excited about that. Additionally, our communities will experience elevated impact that leverages the totality of the resources of a larger organization that we'll be able to provide. Brookline and Berkshire and Brookline have a long-standing reputations for strong corporate citizenship, and that work will continue in the combined organization. And importantly, our branches and our people right here in Southern Vermont will remain the same, and will continue to provide the services and the support to our communities that our customers have always received. As part of this transition, we'll be part of a larger region, so we're going to be a dedicated region that will be consist of the Capital District of New York, Central New York, Berkshire County, and Southern Vermont. We'll have a kind of a regional structure, so we'll be set up regionally, so we'll be able to do things a little bit differently here than we might in Boston. So that will be, I think, really good to be able to focus specifically on the needs of our region. As we move through this process, which we plan to have completed toward the end of this year and then continuing into early next year, we'll be under, as I mentioned, this regional structure, and we'll have a new regional president that will be part of this whole larger region. And he's here with us today, Jim Morris, so we just wanted to introduce Jim to the community. But we will still continue, as I mentioned, to have our team as we do. And Michelle Hunter has been our regional leader here in Vermont, and she's here with us today, so we'll continue to have Michelle with us. We also have our other members of our female powerhouse at Berkshire Bank today. We have Karen Hessen from our wealth management team, Jessica Cartier from our My Banker team, and Denise Thompson, who is from our small business banking team. So we're glad to have you all here. So again, really looking forward to the transition and all that we'll be able to provide under the new combined organization. Our foundation will remain the same too. I did not include those in my remarks, but we'll be continuing to support the communities as we have been in the past. So we're really looking forward to continuing to support all of the nonprofits in our communities. And as at Berkshire and in our new combined company, once this process is complete, we truly believe in building stronger communities, and that it requires a better approach to banking, and at the core is our people, our culture, and the work that we do every day. And we just announced recently in Q1 2025 that our foundation provided over $400,000 in philanthropic investments to foster upward economic mobility and enhance opportunities for success in the regions that we serve. So again, looking forward to continuing with that. One of those organizations, as mentioned, is PAVE, which provides free and confidential services to victims of domestic violence and sexual violence in Bennington County. And unfortunately, their need for services has continued, and with the macroeconomic environment that we're all in, are finding it especially challenging. So I just wanted to bring Lindsay Brillen up, the executive director, to say a few words about the great work that they do. So, Lindsay.
We are delighted to again be part of this luncheon, and I want to say a big thank you to Berkshire Bank and the Chamber as well for understanding how important it is to provide space for women to gather, network, and celebrate each other. As was already said, PAVE is the domestic and sexual violence agency for all of Bennington County. We've been serving the county for over 40 years. Our mission is to promote a community where a community and a world, but specifically our community, where everyone can experience love and intimacy free from violence. We view domestic and sexual violence as a public health concern that affects everyone in our community. a public health concern that we can combat using strong support services for survivors, preventative education, and advocacy for laws and policies. Specifically, laws and policies that create an environment where all peoples are protected from violence, and those that cause harm are held accountable. While intimate partner violence and sexual violence can affect anyone, and does affect everyone, we'd be naive and misguided to not know that domestic and sexual violence disproportionately affects women and girls. As women, we are strong, we bring forth life, we create homes, we run businesses, and we change the world every day around us, yet we are victimized at a high rate. Statistics tell us that 1 in 3 women in America have experienced some form of domestic violence at the hands of an intimate partner. To put this in perspective, I was told there was about 200 people that signed up for this luncheon today. That would mean over 60 of those people that signed up have an experience firsthand with some form of domestic violence. So as I look out upon this room of smart, accomplished women, I acknowledge the harsh truth that because we are women, many of us have suffered the pain of intimate partner abuse. Everyone knows someone. It's easy to become overwhelmed by such numbers, especially as they climb in our own county. Yet I challenge us, specifically the women in the room, to allow it to instead unify and motivate us as a collective. Domestic and sexual violence statistics speak to the harm caused to all women, regardless of the things that we use to separate each other. Our race, religion, social economic status, education, our achievements, our political affiliations, none of these change the fact that as a woman, we are more likely to be raped than to get breast cancer. That's crazy, right? 1 in 5 women will suffer from rape in their lifetime. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. We must make our shared vulnerability as women into our strength. We must let it make us vocal, to be visible survivors, loud allies, and advocates for laws and policies that protect everyone. As we strive to continue to move forward and further reduce violence against women, we must also safeguard the progress that we have made. Our mothers, aunts, grandmothers, they all fought to get us where we are today, and we must continue to fight to protect what they have achieved, as well as pushing our communities to be better, safer places for women. How do we do that? We advocate for continued funding of services for survivors. We advocate for continued protection against gender-based violence and discrimination. We educate our friends and family on the impact of gender-based violence and the importance of those laws and policies that protect us. We continue to be loud. We have a poem that is posted in our office by Jasmine, and I'm going to mispronounce her last name, Carr, and it reads, "Scream, so that one day, 100 years from now, another sister will not have to dry her tears wondering where in history she lost her voice." We have a table in the back, and if you would like to find more information about ways to advocate for women and for domestic violence survivors of all genders, there are papers back there that you can take. Also, we have 2 wonderful advocates here today, Laura and Rebecca, who would love to talk to any of you that are interested about their work and the impact it has on our community. Also, we have an auction each spring that supports our services, and information about that is at the back table too. Again, I urge you, men, women, everyone, to be loud and refuse to go backwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you very much for the important work that you do, and thank you so much for all of that. So again, we're so pleased to be here celebrating women. We're excited to celebrate the award recipients. Congratulations, they are so well deserved. We look forward to hearing from Deborah, which I know she will bring us a message of energy and support and leaving us with the ability to forge ahead strongly as a group of women. So thank you so much.
All right, and just to point out again, there's a table in the back. It's the only one with blue tablecloth on it, and that's a great way to support PAVE as we move forward. We do want to carve out a little bit of time here at the luncheon before we jump into an amazing keynote from Deborah Larkin. We do want to a tradition we actually started last year. My team started it without me, but I thought it was so good that I think it's worth continuing the tradition every year. We want to take a moment today to honor the life and legacy of Rita D, and the D family is here with us today. Rita was a beloved community leader, an advocate, and a friend to many. Her spirit of generosity and unwavering commitment to Bennington left a lasting mark on our region. We even have one of her horses, sculptures up at the Welcome Center, so as a video plays, you'll recognize some of that. We are going to ask the D family to come up, but I know first they wanted to play the video, and then we'll have the sisters come up. So thank you.
Inspiration doesn't just come from one place. I mean, it comes from everywhere. It comes from, you know, wanting to do nice things for my family that they will appreciate, or from just watching a horse. And I mean, I'm just always stunned by the beauty of the horse, and that was like the beginning of my inspiration for the art. The philosophy, I guess, that I would use for art is that I want the viewer to be elevated. I want to take them out of where they're at and that day. And in the same way, like when you go to see a movie, in a way, you want to move your audience. I'm taking garbage, as far as the town's concerned, and making something beautiful out of it. So that I really like. I have to say that my faith does inform my work. And it is a lot of what motivates me to want to do them. Because I want to move that person who comes in to see them, who's having a bad day, and make them have a good day when they look at my work. I can't think of a more beautiful subject for me to work with. And I want each piece I do in a way to tell a story. I want it to evoke an emotion from the viewer. So I want there to be drama and emotional content to each piece I do. So like there's one piece I worked on for 2 years with high school and middle school students, and I had them write messages to the soldiers, like thank yous, and talk about, you know, how they feel about them. And so that's in the piece. So when you stand back, you see a horse, but as you get up close, you start to read the words, and as you read the words, you get the whole story that the horse is telling. You need to really keep yourself open to beauty, no matter where you might find it. You know, I mean, you have to be open to that beauty everywhere. So it's just being aware that we're surrounded by it every day, even though sometimes it may not seem that way, but we are, you know.
Great, if we could have the daughters come up. And they may say a few words, but first we wanted to pass off this that says, honoring the legacy of Rita D. in recognition of her boundless compassion, creative spirit, and quiet leadership that uplifted all who knew her, through her artistry, stewardship of Wilden's Run farm, and unwavering faith. Rita empowered others with grace, warmth, and joy. Her life was a master class in selfless giving, nurturing family, friends, animals, and community with equal devotion. With admiration and gratitude, the Chamber staff, board, and all of the membership here today.
Just a really quick thanks to the for film and the film footage there, Keegan Douglas and the GNAT team, as well as Sean Tracy. And on behalf of the entire D family, we would like to thank the Southwestern Vermont Chamber for this great honor and recognition of our beloved mother, Rita. It's kind of funny, when I was thinking about this event and women in leadership, I realized my mom really never sought out
a leadership role. That wasn't really her goal in life, but very naturally, she stepped into that role quite often, informed by her faith, her vocation as a wife and a mother, her passion for horses, and her boundless artistic talent and energy. She was constantly concerned with beauty and relationships. Whether you were the lady behind the counter at the paint store, a friend, family member, neighbor in need, or a stranger feeling lonely and isolated, our mother would seek you out to create connection through hope and beauty. She led through these connections and has left a lasting legacy for all of us to follow, challenging each of us to seek out others and continue to build connections and foster relationships through hope, beauty, and love. I'd like to thank the Chamber again for this honor, and I'd like to congratulate all of today's recipients. Thank you.
Let's all catch our breath. Grab a tissue if you need to. It's my honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, an extraordinary leader, fierce advocate, and trailblazer for women's rights, Deborah Larkin. Deborah has spent over 35 years breaking barriers across the corporate, nonprofit, and government sectors, championing gender equity in sports, education, and leadership. As the former CEO of Women's Sports Foundation, she played a pivotal role in launching National Girls and Women in Sports Day, the Sports for Life program for young girls of color, and groundbreaking research that continues to shape conversations around gender bias in coaching and athletics. Her advocacy extends far beyond the field. As a longtime board member of the National Women's Law Center, Deborah helped establish the Margaret Fund, working to uphold Title IX and secure critical victories at the U.S. Supreme Court that protect students from discrimination and harassment. A recipient of the Distinguished Woman of New York Award, Deborah has testified before Congress, appeared in major media outlets, and remains an active force in our own Bennington community, coaching high school tennis, serving on the Bennington Museum Board, and championing youth athletics through the Bennington Sports Foundation. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to a true changemaker, Deborah Larkin.
First, I just want to say all of us love and miss Rita very much, so glad you got this. And thank you, Matt, for those great words. This is such a wonderful event. It's so great to see so many people here. And congratulations to the honorees who are the real shoo-ins today. I was honored and surprised when Matt asked me to give the keynote. He said, frame it like this is the last speech you're going to give. No, I almost didn't take it that he was telling me I was old and this really might be my last speech, but I got it. He was encouraging me to talk about something important. He said, talk about leadership, and I'm sure people want to hear about Title IX. And, oh, you have 15 minutes. So here goes. I thought of an example that combines both topics. My first leadership experience began in the 5th grade with basketball. I was the strongest player and captain. My father coached. My sister, who's here today, Barbara Winslow, was the ref. We were good, and we were undefeated for 6 years. My teammates looked to me to be the leader. I saw early on that it's important to keep the players, my closest girlfriends, motivated, eager to play, for everyone to learn the skills and strategies for individual growth, gain self-confidence, problem solve, promote teamwork, and importantly, to have fun, and yep, to win. Of course, I didn't see that in 5th grade, but looking back, that's when I started taking on leadership roles. It started with sports, in this case, basketball. So how does this involve Title IX? Well, in the late 50s, basketball rules were different for boys and girls. Girls played 3 on a side, 3 forwards on one side and 3 guards on the other side of the center line. We could only have 2 dribbles, and then we had to pass. Gradually, we moved across to 3 dribbles, and first 1 and then 2 players could rove across the center line. Well, why did girls play by different rules? Because it wasn't ladylike for girls and women to sweat. We weren't strong enough. I mean, can you imagine saying that to Caitlin Clark or Abby or Sadie Sikora today? They thought girls really didn't want to play sports. Back then, the discrimination was cultural. Today, that discrimination is illegal. Fast forward to the 60s, when civil rights legislation was passed. The legislation was around race, not gender. And at that time, women could not get credit cards in their own name, serve on most juries, get scholarship, become doctors, or play organized sport. They didn't even make sports shoes for girls. We had to wear size-down men's shoes. It took until the early 70s for Title VII to pass, and that was legislation that mandated gender equity in the workforce. And in 1972, Title IX of the Education Amendments passed, which granted gender equality in education. Specifically, it said that any educational institution that received federal funding must comply with Title IX. And the carrot to ensure compliance was the threat that the federal government, through the Office of Civil Rights, could take away a school's funding if they weren't in compliance. Most people think Title IX is about sports, and more recently, sexual harassment and trans. It is. It covers every aspect of education. The passage of Title IX is why many of us here today are in the professions we're in. It's why we're in medicine, law, STEM, we're bankers, in the military, and yes, sports. But when the law was being discussed, there was very little attention around sports. We wanted it to stay under the radar, so the powerful forces around some of the big men's sports, like football, would not try to exclude us in the law. It was a smart decision, because once football coaches learned that have to provide resources for girls, they worked hard to eliminate sports from the law. But schools create their own budgets, and it's their choice if they want to allocate the most money to football and basketball programs, even if that means cutting other sports. But why not? Football and men's basketball bring in so much money. It's true, they do bring in a lot of money. But even today, most of the college football teams operate in the red. They spend more money than they bring in. But it's also a fact that we've seen tremendous growth for women and all professions, including sports. Women now outnumber men in law and medical schools. We represent 1 in 6 active service members. In sports, high school girls have 3 million more sports opportunity than they did before Title IX. And in college sports, women represent 44% of athletes versus only 15% before the law was passed. That's huge. But even with all this growth, almost 80% of all schools are still not in compliance with the law. High school boys number over 4.5 million and have more than 1 million opportunities than girls are entitled to by the law. And in college, girls miss out on 60,000 opportunities, which has magnified the loss in potential scholarship opportunities. All these figures are even more detrimental to girls and women of color. And the reason why these schools are still not in compliance are the same as when it was first passed over 50 years ago. We still get fewer scholarship dollars, have few opportunities to play. We play matches at 3 o'clock when the guys play at 6 or 7, when a lot of people can come watch and be on TV. At some schools, girls' uniforms are bought again after 4 years, and the boys maybe 2. They have more and more experienced coaches, better equipment, greater access to weight rooms, trainers, the list goes on. If you Google Title IX and read the papers, nearly every day there's an article about how female trans athletes are ruining women's sports. More than 20 states have passed laws barring female athletes from playing high school sports. Some of those states have only one or maybe no trans athletes. The president of the NCAA testified that there are only 10 known trans women participating in college sports. Surely there are more. But no one knows or even cares because we don't care about someone who comes in 10th or 12th or 20th. We don't care about cis athletes or trans athletes. They don't get coverage. I get asked about trans athletes all the time. It's a messy and complicated issue influenced by the toxic environment today. Reliable research is needed to determine whether the advantages and disadvantages that are associated with trans athletes are more meaningful than the differences associated with chromosomes and testosterone levels and other natural differences. We also have to consider the sport, because all sports are different. The age of the athlete, whether they're in middle school or high school, in college or in the Olympics. I hope we can keep an open mind before we close the door on these girls forever. I do agree with the locker rooms. I don't know about you, but I was never comfortable changing in an open space around people, no matter who they were. Oh man, can you remember manipulating the towels, putting a towel up here, a towel down there, everything you could do to change your clothes so nobody could see? And women don't towel snap like the guys do in the locker rooms. We like to stay covered. A simple solution, redesign the locker rooms so that people get privacy, so that none of us have to get undressed around people we don't want to get undressed with. For the people who say that trans girls are killing women's sports, please think if this is really about women's sports. If so, why aren't they shouting about the 1 million high school girls and the 60,000 college women who aren't getting the opportunity to play? And parents, your girls are losing out on millions of scholarship opportunities every time we're not in compliance of the law. Okay, that's my homage to if this is my last speech. But an obvious segue to leadership. I bet some of you knew exactly what you wanted to be when you grew up. Followed that path and are living the dream. Well, that wasn't me. My first job was stuffing envelopes at Nestle Company in White Plains, New York. I was a secretary in a bank, a Parks and Rec leader, a Madison Avenue advertising executive, a chartered fishing boat owner, and the rest you've heard about ad nauseum, I think, over the last couple of weeks. I learned something from each job which helped me shape my leadership style. It took me the longest time to realize I didn't have to have all the answers. And while I didn't have to know them, when I took on leadership roles, I was responsible to develop the strategic plans to further the mission. So what do you do first? You create a kitchen cabinet made up of people with different skills, diverse backgrounds and experiences, who are big thinkers, most smarter than you, value service, share the vision, like to have fun. The very best thing I did when I came from Vermont was to play in the tennis bubble, host a party, and get to know Angela and Lori, then Melissa, Shaylee, Allison, Mayru, and many more fabulous women. And thank you for being here today, and thank you for welcoming John and me. The next tip, be brave. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone and face adversity to be effective. As you heard, the Women's Sports Foundation is an advocacy organization that positions itself as the voice of women's sports. That means tackling big organizations and big issues. It was my job as CEO to speak out. I used to joke if I didn't, I would get fired. I spoke up about major universities in violation of Title IX, equal pay, sexual harassment, whether the NCAA was doing its job, the lack of female coaches, coaching women's sports, equality for girls of color and LGBTQ athletes, and importantly, we wanted people to know that female athletes make good leaders. Key was how I used my voice. I tried to be direct, but not confrontational. I wanted to be a bit edgy because I wanted to get that valuable media soundbite, but not strident because what I said and how I said it could affect our corporate support. The media could twist my words. My board could lose confidence in me. So I did my homework, always spoke to my trusted allies, kept in touch with the champion Olympic and professional athletes to make them aware of issues so they wouldn't be blindsided by their fans or the media. Fear is a very effective tool to shut people down. So I would put on my big girl pants and do my best. Sometimes I'd get smashed and sometimes I'd get congratulated. But it was never about me. It's never about one person. It was about giving girls and women the opportunities to be their best on and off the field. I have another great, brave example. And this was with one of the co-captains of my tennis team today. Her name is Erica Janish. So we had just finished a homework assignment. Yep, I give them Title IX and women's leadership assignments. But I could tell that something was up with Erica, and I said to her, I think you're trying to tell me something. And she kind of said, yes, coach, I was hesitant to ask, but I am very involved with an issue that I was hoping you would talk about in your speech, because I think it involves Title IX. Looking to the future, today's young women are rooted for a Vermont that provides free menstrual products in businesses, hospitals, and schools, so that anyone who menstruates has the resources they need. I would like to emphasize that the role that free menstrual products plays in continuing the issues of Title IX by ensuring that no student is forced to miss extensive amounts of class time because of an inability to afford menstrual products. I was speechless. What courage she had to approach me on a sensitive issue. I love that she used her voice. So I said, of course, and I did say what she asked me to say, and I'm going to put that challenge back on you and encourage all the business leaders here to advocate for free menstrual products in your workplaces and schools. How lucky am I to get to coach young women like that? So my last tip for leadership is this. Write that extra email. Even if you put in a long day's work, you're tired, you want to go home, see the kids, and have at least one glass of wine, take a breath. Write that extra thank you email or text and make it personal. Always remember to thank and include your team, and randomly touch base with someone you've worked with when something comes up and it reminds you of them. They'll really appreciate it, and you will too. And don't forget service leadership. It's really important. Ilsa, I think it's been about 7 years since I just started delivering Meals on Wheels. Older people weren't my thing, but today they're my peeps. They're very appreciative of our visits. I'm told that we deliver 40,000 meals a year in Bennington County, which is phenomenal. One client and I bonded soon after he received a diagnosis of cancer. We talked about that, and now we hug in every visit. When I got back from Arizona this winter, we hugged, And my client said, "Oh, I really missed you." And Tom, you might appreciate this. I broke my wrist on the tennis court about 6 years ago. Dr. Nam Kun operated successfully. A poster of my experiences on the wall of the hospital. And a woman on my route was at the hospital getting blood work done. She saw the poster and she told me, she explained to all around her, "That's my Deborah." They always thank me. But can you tell I'm the one who's getting the gift? That's important, how service leadership is. So Billie Jean King always says, pressure is a privilege, and I'd like you to take that at heart. And I'd like to end with a couple of messages from two dear friends who wanted to give you a little insight on how they view leadership.
Hey y'all, Julie Foudy here, former captain of the U.S. women's soccer team, two-time World Cup champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, a long time ago. A couple thoughts on leadership. Oof, this is hard to keep to under a minute, but I'm going to be tight because I am a big believer when you have women like Deborah Larkin running things, good things happen. Because here's the thing that we know about women. No offense to you boys in the audience. We love you too. But women, one, they get stuff done. Two, they are very unifying. Three, they're all about community. Four, they have good instincts. They make good decisions. And so women running things makes great sense. As we've seen historically, when we gather and we collectively come together, good things happen. So, and I do think it's because we have this willingness to collaborate and listen and be vulnerable and know that we're not always the smartest in the room, which we often are, but we don't have to say that. We're humble. So when you think about leadership, think of service leadership too, and servant leadership, because I think that's an important piece of it that is lost in all of the discussion today. That's all I got.
Ilana and I have had this, we had this mentor, Ed Woolard, who we adored and was so helpful to us. And he was the former CEO and president of DuPont. And he and I would talk about what makes people great, what makes them happy. We talked about all kinds of things. And I said to him one day, you know, I have to give commencement speeches, talk to young people. I want to give them something that they can have the rest of their lives to refer to. It'll really help them, hopefully, through life. So he and I, we observed people for probably 2 to 3 years of people who had inner success and happiness and joy, and also had outer success. They've done very well, very accomplished, not just a lot of money, but accomplished. And these are the 3 things we came up with, and they don't have to be in this order. Relationships are everything. Relationships are everything. The next one is keep learning and keep learning how to learn. Keep learning and keep learning how to learn. And the last one is be a problem solver and an innovator. Be a problem solver and an innovator. And we found these were the 3 things that ran through people that were happy internally and also did well in their lives from a work point of view or a creative point of view. So I hope these 3 things can really help you.
Great. Thank you, Deborah. Another round of applause for Deborah Larkin. You all have to help us to decide who we're going to bring next year. I mean, we keep bringing these just amazing keynotes. We had Kate White last year. We had Deborah Larkin this year. Our work is cut out for us, Michaela, for next year. Thank you, Deborah, for those powerful words. You set a tone beautifully for what's to come next in the show. So this afternoon, we have the honor of recognizing 3 exceptional women right here from this region who embody the very spirit that Deborah spoke of. Leaders who are shaping our communities, breaking barriers, and lifting others along the way. We'll begin with the Young Woman in Leadership Award, followed by the Woman of the Year Award, and then conclude with the Lifetime Achievement Award. each a celebration of strength, service, and impact at different stages of the leadership journey. Before we present each award, I've been asked over the years, well, who all got nominated? We want to know as much about the nominations as we do about the person reading the award. And I will say it's an impressive list. I'll read through it. It's the most that we've ever had nominated through all the years. So it's long, but I think that that's a really good indication of the amazing women we have in the region. And I think at the end, when I read all these names, all of these women deserve a huge round of applause. So for the Young Woman in Leadership Award, it's kind of like the Oscars, right? So like drum roll. We got Justine Curry, Kathleen Lynn Fox, Andre Ann Chenille, Haley Hess, Gloria Cruzado, Carrie Matson, Beth Sturgeon, Samantha Pierce, and Sarah Al Janabi. For the Woman of the Year Award, we have Michelle Hunter, Megan Krause, Paige Vignola, Shannon Barsotti, Renee Goods-Melke, Kelly Legacy, Marjay Diamond, Mia Schultz, Sharon Richel, Shannon McClenathan, Sarah Albright, Mary Garish, Aaron Kaufman, Megan Damarist, Erica Marthage, and Nancy Kojal. And finally, for the Lifetime Achievement Award, we have Janice Corey, Kim Wooler, and Melissa Levis. So this is my favorite part because I get to pass this off to people that deserve to hand out this award way more than me. This is for the Young Woman in Leadership Award, and we're going to welcome back to the stage our past two recipients, Kaya Kirk and Val Harrington, to hand out the award. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Valerie. Hi, I'm Kaya. The Young Woman in Leadership Award is presented to someone who is already making waves through her leadership, her service, and her unwavering commitment to building a stronger, more connected community. I am going to read the same list Matt just did because all these women deserve an extra round of applause. But this year's nominees included Kathleen Lynn Fox, and Andre Ann Chenille, Haley Hess, Gloria Cruzado, Carrie Madison, Beth Sturgeon, Samantha Pierce, Justine Curry, and Sarah Al Janabi.
This individual's journey is one of resilience, generosity, and action. Within just weeks of arriving in a brand new country, she began giving back, volunteering, cooking meals for others, and helping fellow newcomers find their place. She quickly became a driving force at one of Bennington's most important organizations, launching initiatives, growing community gardens, and bringing people together with joy, empathy, and heart.
Her energy is infectious, her leadership bold, and her compassion limitless.
Please join us in celebrating our Young Woman in Leadership Award recipient, Sarah Al Janabi.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, so happy, and I feel so lucky to be here. I was thinking about myself just 1 year and 2 months since I came to the United States from Iraq as a refugee. And it was a real challenge to come to a new country, new culture, new climate. We don't have winter back home, and I came mid of March where it was snowstorm, and they came with sandal and linen shirts. It was a real challenge for me. And in short period, I started working for a refugees resettlement agency in Southwestern Vermont called ECDC. And I found myself in a new challenge to work with people from different nationalities, different languages, different religions, and it was really hard. I spent nights crying in my bed But I have to go with the flow. I have to find myself. I start volunteering, build a connection, introduce myself to the community, and here I am. So I'm so lucky, and I feel I'm a woman who is really always addressed as a leader. I'm a woman who is strong, adjustable, adaptable, and very brave to be here. So thank you so much, and I'm so grateful for all women in my life and in the United States who really helped me to be who I am and to be here as well. Thank you so much.
Great job. Next up, for our Woman of the Year award, we'll welcome back to the stage the award-winning, I believe is how you two want to be mentioned, the award-winning Susan Plaisance and last year's recipient, award-winning Kate Ryan.
Good afternoon, everyone. As previous recipients of this award, and much to the dismay of our families, Kate and I have been assured by the Chamber, and Matt specifically, that although we're honoring the 2025 recipient of the Woman of the Year award today, our title of Woman of the Year is permanent. We are incredibly grateful for this, mostly because it gives us something to hold over our children's heads for many, many, many years to come.
And I too am extremely grateful because I've really come to enjoy the emails I get from my dad, signed FOTWOTY, Father of the Woman of the Year. I wasn't quite ready to give that up yet.
But today, it's someone else's turn to claim the title. And it's our true honor to introduce a woman whose vision, dedication, and heart makes her incredibly deserving of it. As the education manager at the Southern Vermont Arts Center for the last 6 years, Erin Kaufman has transformed arts education in the North Shire.
Last year alone, Erin grew SVAC's education revenue by over 70%. She's raised scholarship funds alongside tuition revenue, demonstrating the financial growth and community service are not opposing goals. In her hands, they are deeply connected.
Earlier this spring, she brought together over 30 schools to exhibit more than 1,900 student artworks at SVAC's Art from the Schools exhibition. In a county with fewer than 8,000 children, Erin's programs serve more than 4,000 youth visitors annually. That's not just outreach, that's transformation. And she's already working on her next initiative, a free summer outdoor concert series to connect generations through the arts.
What truly sets Erin apart is that she listens. Not just politely, but deeply. When families in her community asked for programs to support their neurodivergent children, she created them. Now SVAC's studios and galleries are filled with joyful expression, programs that didn't exist until Erin responded with empathy and action. And somehow, Erin does all of this while raising 5 children and volunteering at the Manchester Community Food Cupboard.
Erin Kaufman is not just a leader, she's a visionary. Her work strengthens the fabric of our community, not only through art, but through connection, inclusion, and hope.
Please join us in celebrating a woman who leads with purpose, serves with heart, and changes lives every day. Our 2025 Woman of the Year, Erin Kaufman.
Thank you.
I knew this was an honor when I heard about it, but it's extreme now that I've heard the other nominees and the other recipients, the other honorees, in the context of Rita's eloquence about art and what it can mean, and where did you go? Amazing. So thank you so much. Thank you for the nomination. Thank you to the committee for the vote of confidence in what SVAC is doing, and I guess I'll just say my job is such a great job that it almost seems like you shouldn't be eligible to win a prize for doing it, because it's the people I work with and what we're trying to do is such a pleasure, and it's such a pleasure to do it in this community that, as everyone who's here knows, when you work in this community, you're working for your friends and neighbors, with your friends and neighbors, and it's really unusual, that opportunity and the support that is available to do it, the financial support, the support of people's time and expertise and generosity in all the ways. So thank you so much, and good luck to everybody. Thank you guys.
And I should mention, and Aaron reminded me, this was a committee that comes together of past winners, board members of the chamber. I have very little to do with it other than sit there and get their lunches, really. I take the lunch orders and I let them go to work. So it really does, I think a lot of consideration. I think we spent over 2 hours deliberating over each award, the committee is great, and we'll add to the committee as we add our new award finalist to the roster. So finally, the last award, and I have the honor and pleasure to hand out this award, is for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Our final award of the afternoon is one that speaks not only to professional success, but to a legacy of service, leadership, and impact that spans decades. This award honors a woman whose journey began not in the corner office, but on the production floor. Someone who, through quiet determination and a relentless commitment to excellence, rose to become a guiding force in one of Vermont's most iconic companies. For nearly 6 decades, I hope I got that right, because when I read it, I was like, 6 decades. For nearly 6 decades, she has led not with ego, but with heart. She has mentored generations of employees, supported leadership transitions through the company, and helped shape a workplace culture rooted in integrity, loyalty, and pride. Even after retiring, she returned back to work, not for recognition, but to ensure the success of those who would follow her. That's the kind of leader she is. She is beloved by colleagues, sought out by younger team members for her wisdom, and admired by all for the grace and humility she brings to every challenge. She represents the very best of Vermont spirit: hard work, community, and quiet strength. It is our great honor to present the Lifetime Achievement Award for 2025 to someone whose very own story is chiseled in the timbers of our region and whose legacy will continue to inspire us for generations. Janice Corey and J.K. Adams, come on up.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. 58 years ago, on October 31st, 1966, I started working for J.K. Adams Company. My first job was sanding a box that we made for a company that packaged seafood. On my first day, I wasn't very good at it. And on my second day, Mr. Cooper Malcolm Cooper Sr. came upstairs to the factory and explained to me how to do the job. After he was done showing me what to do, I knew how to stand that box, and I was good at it. That was the beginning, and for the next 40 years, Mr. Cooper taught me about J.K. Adams' company. All the way from sanding that box to understanding financial statements and budgets. There was one lesson I never forgot. Mr. Cooper taught me that it wasn't the building or the land it sits on that made a company. It was the people who were in it that built that company. And I know it's true because all the people I worked with over the years and the ones I'm still working with helped me get here today. 20 years after I started, when most shops were still relying on paper ledgers, I helped boot up the company's first computer, a mini mainframe in its own room with air conditioning and 24-inch backup platters. And when we turned it on for the first time and a screen popped up and it said, "Hello, Janice," we were amazed. In 1998, we got our new ERP system, and we've been growing with it ever since. When the next generation of leadership took over with Malcolm Cooper Jr., I was there working with him as we moved into another era for J.K. Adams. Malc brought a different kind of management to the company. He brought people in to help him, and he gave them the freedom to manage on their own. But he was always there for backup as we all grew with the company. We were and are a great team. I've never taken this journey alone, and J.K. Adams was more than a job. It felt like family, even more so to me. My sisters, Candy Brown and Jane Harrington, worked with me for many years, stood by me through many late nights and early mornings. My daughter-in-law, Denise Corey, reminds me that the next generation is more than ready. J.K. Adams Company today, Sharon Michelle guides our sales. Jesse Kerner keeps our website going. Terry Warren steers our customer service. And Megan Long and Carol Sheldon make sure our retail store is the best in the world. Jen Miller keeps the finances in order. And Cassie Casey buys and moves the raw materials from the South Dock to the North Dock by working with me, planning and scheduling the work orders. Jean Tomchak, my partner in operations for over a decade, taught me a lot about manufacturing, including lean manufacturing and the value of our people. Gene believes in our people, and it shows with the support that he gives to all of us. To every man and woman on the floor, in the office, or out on the road, you are the reason I still love coming to work. Vermont has a long tradition of strong women who turn good ideas into lasting businesses. I see that strength in this room, and I see it every day in Dorset. Let's keep building on that tradition and prove yet again that when women lead, communities survive. Thank you.
congratulations to all the winners today and the recipients. And as we bring this luncheon to a close, one of the questions I wanted to ask is one day a year enough for all of you to get together? No. Okay. So one of the things we want to explore at the Chamber is doing more women-centered events through the year. So stay tuned. We have no true plans, but Michaela, Erica, Luis, the team, our board, Shannon, we do recognize the power of this, the engagement of this, right? This is now considered kind of one of our marquee events, which only 4 years ago was just a sketch on a piece of paper. So we really are encouraged by this, and you showing up gives us permission to continue finding other ways that we might bring all of you together. So stay tuned. I do want to highlight, and I have a couple of our board members here. If you're on the board, Shannon, Maru, are there other board members here? I see Sean, give a wave of the hand. Anybody that's on my board? Just give them a round of applause. A year ago, we set forth in February, and we've kind of been building up to it to the annual meeting this January, a new vision for this chamber. Kind of what I framed up as in the past 2020 to 2025 was regionalism 1.0. That was just us introducing ourselves to the full region. We had never represented 17 communities. We knew that going into Manchester in the North Shire was going to be difficult, but I think we've done pretty well here. And you can see we've got recipients from Dorset and from Manchester. We're hosting here in Manchester. So we really felt at the beginning of this year, regionalism 1.0, we've done that. We've been equaling out our board so that we have representatives from all over the region, as well as our membership, and really embarking on a regionalism 2.0 is what we want to call it. And part of this is some of that effort. And I do want to read the vision just before we go. You'll hear more from us as the years go on. There's a 2-year vision, and we want to pull this together, but we need your support. And so the vision goes like this: to cultivate a vibrant regional economy driven by innovation and collaboration, where commerce thrives in harmony with the stunning natural landscapes and welcoming and diverse communities. That is what we're doing here today, and I want to thank all of you for joining us here to celebrate that. So a round of applause for yourselves. So as we bring this afternoon to a close, I know it goes by so fast. Please stick around and still network and talk and connect. But we hope that we leave you feeling not only celebrated, but empowered, reminded that leadership doesn't come in one form, one title, or one path, as we've seen with Janice. It lives in the way we support one another, lift each other up, and continue to lead with courage, compassion, and purpose. Today's gathering and the stories we've shared are only possible because of the community that believes in the power of women in leadership. Let me say that one more time. Believes in the power of women in leadership. We want to offer our heartfelt thanks to Berkshire Bank for supporting us all these years and your ongoing generous vision to make this event possible. Thank you. We also extend our gratitude to our gracious host, Hildine, our incredible lunch by Pangea, our talented audio and visual team, Equinox Audio Visuals, and Doug over there. Thank you, buddy, for making us sound good. Thank you to our media partners, Vermont News and Media, Old Mill Road, I saw you out there, and GNAT-TV. Again, a recording will be available after today. The stunning floral arrangements on the table by Lily of the Valley. Again, please take those home. We can't have them here after today, so please, we encourage you to take them home. And finally, a special thanks to our supporting sponsors, VNA and Hospice of the Southwest Region, Dartmouth Health, Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, Mission Care at Bennington, Meals on Wheels, Bennington County, Oliver Automotive Group, Gamers Grotto, the Shire's Young Professionals, United Counseling Service, Green Mountain Academy for Lifelong Learning, and a special in memory of Edie Zawitsky. Your support makes all the difference. Thank you all and have a good evening.